before we start this week's episode, I want to try this fruit that I have no clue what this is, and Nico told me to pick it up from the market, and I only know that this is called zapote. That's what he called it. Now, I speak a bit of Spanish, if you guys know, and sapo means frog, but I don't think that has anything to do with this. He said I can eat it just like this. I'm from Europe, I'm from Germany. I don't think this grows anywhere near to where I grew up. So he told me I just need to cut it open and I can basically just eat it inside, not the skin and not the seed inside. So I don't know what to expect, but let's see. He said it's a must when we're around here, so I guess I cannot miss the must. So let me see what this is. He did tell me it needs to be kind of soft, so it's ripe, so I can kind of squish my finger in it a little bit. And it does remind me of a large green avocado, but hey, I don't really know what this is, so let's just give it a try. Maybe it's horrible. Can't be worse than the chicken foot, I guess. Though, I must say, it was tasty, just weird. Yeah, so... Oh, okay, so this is quite interesting. It's kind of a red flesh. It does remind me of an avocado, like the way that there's a seed inside, and it smells really sweet. Smells good, but couldn't put my finger on it yet. Where it could be. So it does have a seed that comes out nicely. It's a little bit, so there you are. Looks like wood, the seed, very shiny, pretty. I wonder if you can do anything with it, or if you can plant this from the seed. Probably. Oh, it's got 2 seeds. Oh, and Nico told me it's only got 1 seed, so this one has 2. Another one. Oh, this is very pretty though, very nice. So it's soft. We get to it. Oh, even the consistency is like avocado, very buttery. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh wow. Oh, this is nice. Way better than the chicken foot. Couldn't say. But if you see this somewhere, definitely give it a try because it's very, very nice. It's got a sweet flavor, so nutty sweet flavor. I don't know. Alika told me that this goes really well in a smoothie, so I might just keep the other half and put it with a little bit of coconut milk and some bananas, mix it up. But yeah, zapote, guys. Definitely to be recommended. So this is gonna be my lunch, and then we're not gonna get going to do our project downstairs.
Into the wild again. Tell me when does it end? Hide under the shadow of the morning, into the break of dawn. We are gonna carry on, covered by the daylight. It's alright. We are pushing head on, all your worries be gone. We are running straight out into the wild. Follow with the dance.
So what's going on today?
We have cleared out our storage cabin today because we need to access our lithium compartment, which is right under the bed here. We have a bit of a heat issue that we need to tackle, and for that we need to remove all of this still.
As you guys know, over a year ago we installed Lithium, and since then we've been having tons of questions, even on land. The other day I was driving the dinghy, somebody stopped me and said, "Oh, I saw your videos, guys." And then we started talking about lithium, and the conversation went for 2 hours, and it's been happening quite a lot. I'm not complaining, I love talking to people and stuff like that, but I think I'm going to answer all the questions that I got from some of the people
In the video.
in this video, yes. And Sarah makes some pointers that she wrote down stuff that people been asking, and we're gonna try to answer those questions.
Because we are speaking with people and they're really interested. I mean, a lot of people that we know or that we just meet, like Enrique was saying, want to install lithium and they're interested. And then I feel bad for Enrique because he's trying to explain everybody and he's kind of started repeating himself. So I said, you know what, just tell me quickly the most asked questions. Or why don't we put it in a video so next time you get asked, I can just take the gentleman, usually it's a gentleman, aside and say, listen, watch here, let's just go for a drink. You got all of the answers and then you can just
I'm
clock
not
out.
complaining. I love explaining. I'm not complaining, guys. I just want to make something that people can go and relate. Because also over few drinks sometimes it does, the information translates different. You know, I don't want to do that. I want to give the accurate information of how it's been working for us, etc., and all this stuff. You know. I guess yesterday was the most recent event.
Yeah, we were talking about everything and then somebody mentioned that they want to install lithium. So obviously Enrique just jumped in and said, oh yeah, if you
But I
need
didn't jump
anything-
in. Ask
Yes,
me
you
questions.
did. Well, the conversation shifted and then we were speaking about fuses and capacities and I just kind of locked out after a while. It's like, you know, I'm just going to write this down from now on so we can answer all of this. First, we have to
First you have to get your
our
butt out of there.
battery bank. The very first question we usually get asked is, can I install lithium myself or would you recommend for an expert to install it? Of course, we always recommend that the installation is done by a professional. However, with enough research from reliable sources that match the ABYC, the American Boat and Yacht Council standards, we believe that someone with basic technical understanding of the subject can do it. Now you guys remember the other day we installed our wind generator. Now I would say, I want to go directly to the point here. The wind generator is for us, it's a small add-on. It's for a rainy, cloudy day when we don't get enough energy into our batteries or when the batteries are low, but it's quite inefficient in a way.
I think what Sarah's trying to say is that the wind gen is not reliable because the wind comes and goes. So is the sun.
But you need a lot of wind.
You
for that
need a
one.
lot of wind in order to get some decent power.
At least the sun comes out every day. The wind, sometimes days and days no wind. And yeah, like Enrique was saying, it needs a lot of wind. And we need a lot of power. We are filming, we're using our laptops, we need to charge our camera equipment. The laptops takes a lot of energy, so we need something that gives us power back.
I think after us sailing for a while and installing several systems, I can tell you that the only way to go is one, a good set of solar panels, and the other one, lithium batteries. I mean, probably bifacial solar panels, which is a new technology. Now, it's not that new, but it's very, very efficient. We have solar panels, I don't know what brand they are, they're from Germany, and we have them since we got the boat. We install them and they are fantastic. In my opinion, that's the way to go. Unless you have some sort of nuclear energy in your boat. Now we have the lithium, and that combination for us, it serves all the purposes. But there are some flaws and there are some issues, and I'm going to explain you about it.
Well, I would say there are shortcomings, probably mainly due to our inexperience. Now, we're gonna answer quite a few of the questions that we've been asked along the way, because we don't really do review videos. This is more like our experience, and we want to bounce back what we did right, what we did wrong, what we realized along the way is good, and what is not so good. So coming back to shortcomings, the two main issues, like Enrique was saying, or the improvement points that we realized for the batteries, or for the whole setup rather, because when you are considering things like this, it's never just one thing. It's not just the lithium, it's all the components around it as well, is Bluetooth and heat.
So let me clarify, when Sarah says about Bluetooth and heat, let me go to Bluetooth first. What she means is that when we got the batteries that doesn't have a Bluetooth capability. That means we can't really connect it to our phones and see the individual self-charge or probably turn the batteries on and off. You're able to monitor your batteries from your phone in each individual battery. and you'll be able to see if one cell is maybe disbalanced or etc. etc. Now, LiTime offers that option. They offer exactly the batteries that we have, the same batteries, but with Bluetooth. But we didn't go that. Maybe because we were inexperienced, like we said before. And now, the other one is heat. That doesn't apply to the batteries, okay? The batteries are fantastic, good. They don't overheat or anything. They go BMS with tons of protection, and they're very, very well built. Now, mistake that we made, we put them near the engine compartment. The other mistake that we made is that we already had kind of Victron controllers, MPPTs and DC to DC charger. We use those, and they don't have a active cooling system. They have just passive cooling system with a heat sink.
And the other thing is that we are sailing in the tropics, so it's naturally hot already. Now we should have maybe looked into the heat dissipation before, the active heat dissipation. Now Victron has, like Anika says, they have heat dissipation sinks, heat sinks, but the LiTime components such as the MPPT and the DC to DC converter, they have active components, so they have fans inbuilt, and I believe they're even ultra silent. But because we already had Victron components set up, we were adding the lithium from there on, so we should have probably changed the MPPT and the DC to DC.
And now we're having to install a whole bunch of stuff in there.
We're paying the price. So, all of this, which we will show you what we're going to do with this, but yeah, we would have probably done
Even
this differently in the
This
beginning.
is something we have to 3D print to adapt to our DC to DC with fans that are going to be linked in there.
Exactly, so we had this. At least
going
it
on?
didn't break. I just dropped the fan right on my jaw.
Good thing,
Oh man, that really hurt. Right with the corner. I mean, I'm in pain now, but I'm glad the fan didn't break. My toe is stronger. So what I was trying to say, which I'm saying now in pain, is that we got this fan and we had this part 3D printed, so it clicks in here. I don't know if I can make it click right now. There you are. And then the DC to DC will sit here on the top, and this will effectively create an active cooling unit.
Just drop the fan inside the stove. And we'll do the same with the MPPT.
What, drop things on its stove?
No, we will put an active cooling system on it. I mean, I haven't really researched any further if Victron is doing this, like creating units that are actively cool. I know they have the Orion XS or something like that, and it's better. It has a better heat dissipation. Still, it doesn't have a fan, I believe so. So,
But it is a known issue.
yeah, it's a non-issue. But anyway, we are at the moment dealing with these issues, and we're gonna try to
And my
tackle them.
toe.
Today, we're gonna try to tackle one of them, and that will be getting airflow in the battery bank.
So guys, when we're mentioning Bluetooth, this is really not a gimmick. You want to know what your batteries are doing, you want to be able to monitor your cells, and a big one is probably that you can remotely turn them off via the app. And as well, the heat might be bothering us from time to time, but we do want to also keep an eye on the system temperature, because it does get very high and the components get affected to the degree that the DC to DC almost overheats. It reduces efficiency, but that's just one of the extra things. So this is why we're looking into this. It's not for convenience, it's for safety, and it's for control. So I don't want to get more into the issue, but we did recently speak with a friend whose boat caught fire, and luckily it didn't burn, but it did catch fire. And it was due to an overheating DC to DC charger. Now, I don't want to mention his name or the boat's name because it just happened and he's speaking to his insurance. But it is a known issue, and people have been trying to find ways to transfer the heat, either adding a larger heat sink or actively get the heat out, because even a larger heat sink, if everything is contained like we have it here in the bed or in a cabinet, the heat cannot go anywhere, so we have to extract it out.
Suck it out.
What?
The higher the temperature, the more that the lithium battery suffer. They will degrade, and they wouldn't last as long as we want them to last. Like, they can last like 10 years, man. And we did a capacity test on these ones, and we have a 900 amp hour battery bank, and we're able to get 930 amps out.
Our capacity test may have not been super accurate because we've been using a shunt.
We didn't want to damage anything. I didn't want I don't do this for a living, so I'm not going to damage those batteries. And then what am I going to do after that? Okay, but if you want to see actually how they work, you can go. There's a guy called Will Prowse. Yeah, Will Prowse. He's like the Sheldon Cooper of batteries. He's like take them all apart, and he took one of them apart from LiTime, a couple of them, and he said that he was actually very impressed with how they. Don't take my word for it. You know, just go to his channel. I may put a link or something, and because they built everything themselves, and the BMS was actually branded by LiTime and everything. He take the whole thing apart. I mean, I don't have that knowledge to take a lithium battery
Please
apart.
don't take them
No.
apart.
So, and he also cost me a lot of money to install all of this. I'm not gonna do that. But the guy makes a capacity test as well, and he also said he was impressed.
Our shunt is connected to our VMV Victron system, so there are quite a few variables why it may not show completely accurate. But it did pass the specifications. It actually went over it slightly. And then, like Annika said, we didn't want to damage anything because we do, like you will say, we want to have our batteries working for at least another 10 years. Would we choose these batteries again? Yes, definitely. But we would have gone with the Bluetooth version. Are they worth their money? Yes, I would say so as well, because they are great quality. Now, you guys see us a little bit like the canary in the mine. You are asking us about our mistakes, so you don't have to make them. And I think one of the main ones, or the main one, would have been cool everything, extract the heat. Don't make the mistake we made.
When we motor, we use this fan, and we put it right here. There's a grid here. And obviously that will bring ventilation inside the battery bank. At the moment it doesn't have a battery, but it doesn't matter anyway. We put it here, and then it brings down the temperature from 35 degrees Celsius to 31. And that works spot on all the time. We do that. Sometimes even 36 to 31. So what we're gonna do, our idea is to use a brushless fan and to put it in here. I mean, we're gonna put it behind this grid because we don't want it to have a fan in there. That would be very ugly. Yeah. And then we're gonna do this today, and then another day I'm gonna give you an update on this. This is there. I lost a bit. There we are. So these are the fans that we're gonna install in our DC to DC chargers that are here in this cabinet here. There, look. We're gonna move this into a place with more space. There will be that cabinet in there, and then we're gonna put the fans. We're gonna do that another day. If I knew I was gonna have this headache, I would have gone with the MPPT from LiTime with the active cooling, and I would have gone with a DC to DC charger that also have the active cooling. But again, I did not have enough knowledge to know that was gonna be an issue. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this grid off now and see if I find a place where I can put the fan in there. Yeah, I think it fits there very nice. If I just have a bracket, and then this closes perfect. Yeah, okay, so that's not a big deal. I mean, it's not gonna be facing that.
Is it this way? I think
Facing
yeah,
like
it's
that.
this way.
Yeah, okay.
We are not adding the active cooling system or the fans to the MPPT or the DC to DC today, but what we're doing is adding the fan to the actual battery compartment. Because we're gonna move our DC to DC charger that is here, like we explained before, it's right here, into the wardrobe, and we're gonna actively cool it with the adapter that we made, that we 3D printed out, and also with the fan that we have. It's no longer gonna add heat to the battery compartment, okay? And then we're gonna do the same with the MPPTs, which are on the other side. We're gonna cool it as well with an adapter and the fans, and they're no longer gonna put heat in here as well, because the heat travels, guys, it travels. Then the last piece of the puzzle that is adding heat to this compartment is the engine, and it's adding quite a lot. So what we're gonna do, like I explained before, we're gonna put a fan. That fan is gonna bring positive air into this compartment here, and it's going to travel towards the engine, and in the engine there is a fan that when you turn the key on, that fan goes on to extract air,
and when you turn the engine off, the fan goes off. It's going to be connected to this fan. They both will go on at the same time. One brings positive air and the other one extracts the air. And that is going to work because we have kind of tried that before with a portable fan. And we've been motoring sometime for 10 hours. There's been no wind and we're able to control the temperature. If we don't do that, the temperature will skyrocket here. Like guys, like 36 minimum sometimes. I need to check which way the fan blows air in. So I'm just gonna connect it to the positive and negative. Let me see. Oh wow, quite powerful though. Okay, it blows air. It blows air this way. So I have to put the label that way.
While Nico's getting the wire to do the actual installation, I'm going to show you guys where our fan is from the engine compartment. For that I have to open this one here. Pee-wee, must you be in the engine? Have you not learned your lesson yet? So I just opened this compartment here, guys, and this is where our cabin is. And I'm now in front of the engine. So we're gonna connect our fan to this fan here. And if you have been watching our videos before, you know that this fan and I go way back. So I put this fan over here. I actually fiberglassed it to the hose and amended it a little bit so we can use this, because there was a different fan in here before, but we thought this is a good solution. And now when this fan turns on, the other fan is turning on as well.
So I'm just gonna remove this so I can run the wire. So I'm just gonna put it through here. And it's not really a long wire, so it should be very easy to do. I got it. Just gonna bring it along here and then connect it here. Just wanna make sure that it's long enough. Yeah, that's long enough. So I'm just gonna leave it here for a while now. There we have.
Come here, you! Get away from the lithium. Lithium is not for kiddies. Move.
So we got this little bracket where the fan is gonna sit in there.
While Kiki is installing the fan, I wanted to answer some more of your questions. And one of the things we get asked a lot is about how much the installation actually cost us. So that includes the cables, several different types of fuses, bus bars, and so on. And it excludes the batteries themselves because they were sent to us directly from LiTime. So we did our installation in St. Martin and it cost us around $2,000 because we bought most of the components there. Of course, prices for this stuff heavily change depending on where you buy them. And if we would have bought the extras in places like the US or Europe, we would have definitely been able to save a buck or two. And if we would have bought the charge controller, MPPT, DC to DC, bus bars, breakers and battery monitor directly from LiTime, overall we would have probably saved another $500 US. Another question we get a lot is how long it took for the batteries to be delivered. Now we had ours sent directly to the US and we told LiTime around 4 p.m. to send them, and they were literally delivered at 10 o'clock in the morning the next day. So it took less than 24 hours because they're not sent from China. They're actually directly sent within the US or Europe. And I'm gonna finish this one with one of the probably most asked questions, and that is, how did you guys sort out your insurance when you did your lithium installation yourself? After we installed everything, we had a lithium specialist come over for about $60 an hour. After around 30 minutes, he was able to sign off that everything was done spot on and only one extra switch had to be upgraded. So that's it, and our insurance was happy with that. Alright guys, we put the bed back together now, it's all concealed, and we tested it a couple of times. So the fan down here is working. Kiki, can you turn it on?
Yeah.
Let's see. So let me show you guys. So we've been running the engine for a little bit and testing the fan and checking the temperature, because usually it started going up, then we put the manual fan with the battery, and then at one point we realized the battery ran out and the temperature goes up again. But this is now not an issue anymore. Hello. So
at the moment it's like 30. We turn it off. Like maybe like 20 minutes ago. And you guys, look, let me show you here. If I just show you here, let me see if you can see. Wait, it's loading. Oh, sorry.
You know what they call that in German? The Vorführ effect. So whenever you want to show something, it does not work, even though it always works.
Of course.
Yeah,
I think in every language. You
do you have a word for that in English? No.
I don't know.
Okay.
Every time I want to show something,
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. English is not even my language. Why are you asking me that?
I don't know. Just reminded me of that.
It's still loading,
still
guys.
freaking loading. Okay, it's happening. Finally. Okay.
Yeah. You can see those graphs. So
Wait.
sometimes it gets like really high. This is like almost 39. So it's like 37. And then yeah, we put the fan and it goes down, and then I mean we tried it now and it's like ace. It's like really, it doesn't go like above 31. Look, this is 31. Didn't even reach 31.
One thing less to think about. And guys, we're gonna let you know of our progress with the installation of the other fans in the future, because it's kind of a cool project, and like we said, we 3D printed this, but this is going to be for another episode. Now, if you are interested in installing Lithium, we do have a discount code, which is SVCUBA8. We're going to put it in the description of the video as well. So you're going to get 8% off your chosen battery if you purchase them through LiTime with this code, and it's going to benefit us as well, because yeah, it's an affiliate link. So guys, thanks so much. Oh, before I forget and let you go, there's one more thing. Now, it doesn't benefit us, but there is a way to get an even bigger discount with LiTime, up to 12%, because they are running a competition that is called the fishing contest at the moment. So I think you have to upload a video and feature LiTime, and you can get up to 12% for your chosen battery. And there's even a prize pool. There's something to win as well. So I just wanted to put this out there for you guys. In case you're interested, I'm gonna add the link in the description of the video as well, so you can check it out. Well, thanks again for watching, guys, and see you next week. Here, that's your prize.
Nice. That's my comfort toy.
Somehow it's always with us.
Vámonos.
Vámonos. Yay!